Hi, guys. Welcome to weekly travel updates. Boy, what a big week it has been. I want to stand up and do the happy dance with all the cruise news. So, the big news, you'll have to wait just a little bit longer for, but let me tell you what's going on. This week we've had fewer cancellations and fewer delays. So, the air travel, while still seeing record breaking passengers, is back and forth. Seems to be running smoother. Um, with the big cruise news this week, we are seeing increased protests, mainly in Europe, but over cruising. And mainly it is in the big cities that, like Venice, they're holding signs that say no big ships. So some of the ships are dropping anchor out in away from the island, and they are tendering people to the Lido, the part of the island part where then you can get the water taxi over to Venice. In Norway, they're doing the same things, but of course, the ships, the Norway is treated differently. I don't know why, but the ships don't pay local taxes. They don't pay port fees. The port cities don't realize the income like some do. Anyway, um, glad to have you guys tonight. There's a lot of news going on. Now that I have a couple people here, I will go on and read to you what Michael Bailey from Royal Caribbean has posted for us. Um, they're the way that people have been able to cruise that's not been as easy is you could get an exemption, and you can still get an exemption. There are many people who will cruise, and they'll buy a sailing. They have to pay for it in full, and then you can apply for an exemption. And once they see that your cruise is paid in full, then you can travel. Um, Let me read you what Royal Caribbean said this week. Oh my goodness, it's so small I can't read it. Hold on just a moment. It says, today, finally, we announced the change to testing requirements. Effective August 8th, there is no requirement for vaccinated guests to test for any cruise 5 nights or less. Unvaccinated guests will be required to take one test within 3 days of departure. Did you get that? Unvaccinated guests will be required to take one test within 3 days of departure. We will also continue to operate highly vaccinated cruises with a vaccinated population greater than society, and which continues to exempt kids 12 and under, and we will welcome unvaccinated guests over 12 and guests with a certificate of recovery with within 90 days of travel to within 90 days to travel, keeping in mind our ships will typically sail with 80% plus vaccinated cruises aboard. All crew aboard will continue to be fully vaccinated and boosted when eligible. Over the coming weeks, as we evaluate these changes and discuss further changes with the destinations we visit, our intention is to further relax testing requirements. So, okay, now hold on. Bear with me. Remove this banner. Um, it has caused a lot of issues globally. It has caused just a mad rush to book cruises, which I'm very thankful for. And I am getting ready to tell you that Royal Caribbean is having a gone sale. Their gone sale is for sailings between now and October. Just to give you an example, there is this 4-night Bermuda and Perfect Day at Coco Cay out of Miami on September 5th, so you can be gone for Labor Day. A balcony cabin is $329. An ocean view cabin is $199, and an interior cabin is $149. Then you add the taxes of $124.40. That is a heck of a deal. And if you look for Alaska, and if you can go this late notice, but if you can travel, then Alaska, $1,000. Oh my goodness, that's a deal. So think about those, and I'll share with you that this is just a couple that I chose out of a very long list. It's 2 pages long. It does mainly include Alaska, Bermuda sailings, 3 and 4 night sailings between now and the end of October. So if that's been part of your plans for the end of the summer, beginning in the fall, reach out to us. We can be reached at 336-222-TRIP. We're in the office on Fridays and Saturdays and other times by appointment. But that is the biggest piece of news that we have received in ages. Also this week, Norwegian announced that the new Prima ship is coming out. Man, it has a new design. It has 3 decks of the race cars, the go-kart race cars, and it has a 3-deck drop slide. You don't have to get wet. It's just, it drops you. So it's supposed to give you like 4 Gs, like you were taking off in a race car, like, you know, anyway, that's what it's like. There is so much information out on the Prima, and if Norwegian is something that you really like, or if you've sailed Norwegian before, check out the Prima because it has lots of new things. Not so great for Norwegian this week is the Norwegian Pearl. It collided with the Gabby G, which is a fishing boat that was 41 miles out of Nantucket. So it was at 2:25 in the morning. There was fog, and there were ships obviously moving. The Gabby G was, from the looks of it, I can tell you it looked like a metal trawler, and the front of the ship was damaged. There was some scarring along the sides of the Norwegian Pearl, but not enough to stop it. It continued on with its sailing. It was from the 29th of July to the 5th of August, and it is doing some of the famed Northwest so that you can see Canada. And, you know, September is almost here, so there will be fall cruises to the Canadian North, from Boston, from New York. Great sailings. Okay, then let me tell you, the reason I put at the bottom of my ad that it was August 5th or 8th is because here's the way it came out. Royal Caribbean came out with this statement that I just read you, and the very next day, Carnival came out instead, because Royal Caribbean says it's 6 nights or less. You don't have to have a vaccine. You only have to have testing. Carnival came out and said, oh, it's 5 nights or less for us. What the big deal? Carnival has lots more 5-night sailings than they do 6-night sailings. So that was pretty cool. Or I thought that was pretty funny. let me tell you about some article I read about the Coast Guard. This week, the Carnival Sunshine was traveling in the Florida Straits, and they picked up a boat that had 12 men on it. They surrendered them to the Coast Guard, and the Coast Guard said that thus far this year, they have intercepted 3,400 immigrants. It's hardly 2 weeks, not every week, but it's at least every 2 weeks that we hear that one of the ships have picked up migrants or travelers who are between here and Cuba. And some are starting to sail even from further away. But anyway, I found that quite interesting. Some new news is, while some of these testing and protocols are relaxed, Princess sent out emails for some of their cruises, particularly on their longer sailings. We have travelers, I told you last week, I have a group of ladies going on a 25-day cruise. They're going to leave from LA the 24th of September and get into Sydney on the 2nd of October. Anyway, it was a great deal, like $3,100 a person for 25 days. So that deal is still out, by the way. But they got emails this week, and it says that on cruises of 16 days or longer, you have to have the vaccine as well as all boosters that are available to you. You know, all boosters that you are, so that you can be up to date. Okay. And then there's big news at Disney. So before I let you go, I just have to tell you a couple of things. Disney has really changed, and of the creators that I watch and follow closely, it seems like the last 3 years, it has really gone from a place for everybody to a place where rich people have a better time, because everything at Disney is increasing. Not only did they stop the rides from the airport, the Magical Express, it doesn't look like annual passes are going to be offered to everyone. That still is up in the air, but lots of things have changed. If you have been to Disney World lately, you will see that much of it is under construction. Every park has got construction inside. And Disney being quiet about what they're doing, there's lots of speculation. Epcot has several buildings that are not available to the public. The things that were in them are not there anymore, and not likely to return. So there's lots that can be said. How are they going to expand? So the Tron ride, now get this, the Tron ride, they started developing it and announced it in 2017. We are 7 years later, and they hope that it will be open by the end of the year. So who knows how long we will see lots of construction in Disney. The prices that we used to have included if you stayed on site, a lot of those are becoming chargeable items. Like the Genie Plus is now a chargeable item. If you want fast passes, it's now a chargeable item. If you want to go in early, it's a chargeable item. There's a whole list of things that have increased. But there's a blogger that I watch. If Disney is your thing, check out DIS Unplugged. But, you know, he went on the new Disney Wish. And one of the things that they have on there is a $5,000 beverage. It has 5 drinks in one. I understand it sparkles. Some of them smoke. It quite unusual. But that drink is $5,000. And when you drink it, it's supposed to be experiential. Like it's like you're part of espionage. And when you drink this, it releases information about the scene. Well, not only did the guy who did this think that it was a real bummer, he didn't think the drink was all that good either. And when he got the bill, it had a $900 tip already on the bill based on this $5,000 drink. Boy, that would set you back. Tell me what you think about that. I found that quite interesting. The new ship has got unusual reviews. I'm going to kind of stick back and say the Fantasy is still probably my favorite ship. And because of the new ships, the ships that are not new are at a great value. And normally, I would tell you that a Disney cruise is quite expensive. But now, when we're comparing Disney and Disney World vacations, it is a whole lot closer. And some of the sailings are even better priced than going and staying at a Disney hotel and having park passes. That's something to really consider, because I know a number of people that have thought seriously about Disney cruises. The Skyline bar is in the middle of the Disney Magic ship, and it has like auto images around, so you might look like you are having drinks in Paris, or you might look like you're having drinks in Rome. It could be scenes from all over the world. New York's definitely on there, and now they've copied that same bar atmosphere in Paris, at the Paris Disneyland. There are so many Disney properties now that we're seeing that they're repeating several things in many of the parks. But on the ship, many of the park items you're seeing on the new ships, they're not extra like doubles or anything of what you're seeing. They are things built specifically for the ship, and art is the big push. It's very expensive, and they have everything from tile murals around the ship to custom carpets that are in front of stages, just a plethora of options, and art being the key. Well, one big reason to mention Disney is getting ready to have the 2023 release of Disney information, and it's going to happen in Anaheim, September 7th through the 11th. If you're a big Disney fan, reach out to me. That's one of the things that big Disney fans go to. And you get a lot of the information of what's going to be released next year. So let's see. I think that just about wraps it up. I do want to show you a couple of things I found this week, though. We go to Myrtle Beach, and I found this shot. The artist's name is at the bottom. I will post after I get off the live. I will tell you who he is. But we've seen several lightning shows in Myrtle Beach, and this is just a beautiful, typical shot. And then I wanted to share one thing with you before I leave. And I don't know that it's the only thing, but remember that travel is one of the things that you can buy that makes you richer because of the experiences on your trip, and because of the memories that you make. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you did, please give it a thumbs up If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, Weekly Travel Updates, please go do that. I would love to have you as part of our community. And until next week, have a great week. Ciao. Happy Charles. Bye.